That's so funny. My computer just notified me that I went live because I'm logged into my other channel over there. Hi, me. I hope there's a few of you who are still hanging around. I'm sorry that I'm late. You guys, I'm trying. I don't want you to think that I forgot about you or that you're not important to me because that's not true. I just have been really distracted lately. And if it wasn't for Dave messaging me, no live today, I wouldn't even be here. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I am putting a reminder in my phone because I really get busy on Tuesdays. I'm doing school with the kids, and like last week I was deep cleaning the kitchen. I just got on a tear and I just spaced the time. Today I was putting in receipts for my kids like homeschool reimbursements, and I just lost track of time. So here we are. We're late. I'm sorry about that. I have my bang this morning, so hopefully I will be nice and chatty. Man, I love that cotton candy bang. I'll tell you what. If Bang were to approach me with like a brand deal or some kind of sponsorship, I would totally take them up on that. The companies that approach me for sponsorships, I never like them. I never want to use their products or like promote them. And so I'm always just like, no. So far, nobody has approached me that has been worth my time. So come on, Bang. Oh my gosh, yeah. I should probably not promote Bang, but I don't know. I probably would promote like a drink like that maybe because I drink it. But see, the thing that people usually ask me to promote is stuff like, I don't know, like keto cereals and just products that I wouldn't not normally even think to use, let alone want to promote on my channel. Anyway, so who's here? Some of you guys are here. I can see a few people, so I'm going to see who is here. Let's see. ADH Snuggles, hello. PDH, oh my gosh. PhD. You know, like, get your doctorate, right? Sorry, girl. PhD Natural Me is here. Keto Fat Girl No More is here. Vincent is here. You guys are like my cheering squad. You're always here to support me. I just think it's so wonderful that you guys take the time. I really appreciate it. Dave is here. Hi, Chef Dave. Thanks for the reminder. You not believe how fast I did my makeup. I haven't even had a shower yet, you guys. Oh, I'm wearing pants though. I have done this chat not wearing pants before. Many times. Bang. What is it? It is just caffeine. It is supposedly has amino acids and stuff in it, so it's supposedly good for protein and whatever for bodybuilding. I don't drink it for that. I drink it because it tastes good, like really good. Cotton candy tastes just like cotton candy to me, and it's 0 carbs, 300 milligrams of caffeine in one can. It's pretty crazy stuff. Thank you for saying I look gorgeous. Man, I did find my makeup bag. Yay! I felt so bad. Oh, hey, Mom. My mama's here. Deborah Gall. Say hi to my mama. Where did I find it? You guys will laugh. So right after I finished editing that video and hit upload, I came back over and I was digging for some clothes with my kids, and I found the makeup bag in my like clean laundry basket that's at the end of my bed underneath a couple of things. Just right at the top. And I just shook my head because I'm like, yep, I just told everybody that my makeup bag was stolen and it's totally right here. Whoops. I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it. I knew there was no way out of saying that it was stolen because I was bound and determined to get that video up. And that's what I really thought because I really did remember it being in the van. But you know, I can get spacey. And it was in here the whole time. Because when I saw it in the van, I did listen to myself and I did pick it up and I did take it inside. But I had looked everywhere and I couldn't find it. Hey, Wendy. Oh my gosh, Wendy is in the middle of Hurricane Michael. Praying for you guys over there. I can't even believe you're on here because seriously, it looks pretty dang scary over there. I was seeing some of the live feed of the coast this morning and I'm just like, I have so many friends over there now that I went over there Georgia and Atlanta and met all of you guys. It's just, I think about you whenever I see those tropical storms. I think about you guys a lot. And Karen Rothwell is also trapped in the middle of it. I don't know if she's going to show up to chat. Probably not. She's always here though. So I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, she's a little busy right now getting ready for a hurricane. It's kind of scary. Okay. So I got a question actually, we had a new person join our Facebook group. I don't know if you guys have noticed him. He knows a lot about keto, and those kind of people, I like them and I appreciate their help, but a lot of times they have suggestions that are maybe contrary to the group's mission and contrary to like the bulk of the group. You know, I have to kind of keep an eye on those kind of people a little bit. I'm used to that from the old group. We said a lot of those, and a lot of those people that was part of the moderating is that we would watch for people like that kind of knew everything about keto, but would say things that were contrary to the version of keto that we were doing. And it's kind of same for my page. I'm pretty open. I mean, you guys know I let everyone over there and I let them say what they want, but I'm definitely going to watch, and I'm going to come in and correct or encourage or, you know, just try and share how I feel about things just based on what I have learned. And we had a question about, you know, what do I do? I'm at a stall. I'm not losing anything. We'd already helped her. She just needed to change her macros a little bit. But he came in and he suggested that she try carbo loading, and that made me very uncomfortable. I want to talk about carbo loading and what I feel about it and why I feel like it's dangerous and should be avoided unless you are on keto for different reasons. So I am personally on keto because I am a carbohydrate addict. I tend to have binge eating tendencies. I wouldn't classify myself as necessarily having a binge eating disorder or anything like that, but I definitely have times where I can binge on foods, okay? I know from experience that with carbo loading, it can be dangerous for people who have an addiction. So, for example, if you were addicted to a heavy duty drug and you had gone a certain time without it, and someone told you that in order to have a breakthrough, you needed to have a small amount of it or even a large amount of it for one day and then go back to what you were doing in order to tell your body to do something else, it wouldn't seem like the very smartest thing to do. I know that in 12-step programs, we don't encourage people to go back and eat or do or partake in the things that they are addicted to. Most of the people that follow me and most of the people on my board who got into a serious situation with obesity have serious addictions. And most of them have issues with carbohydrates, where carbohydrates just aren't processed well. Most of us have insulin resistance. And basically what insulin resistance means is that when you consume carbohydrates and your body has blood sugar in the blood, your body is not able to convert the blood sugar fully into energy for your muscles using insulin. So I guess, or you have too much insulin. I'm not exactly sure about the insulin playing in it, but I know that you end up with too much blood sugar in your blood because your body can't use it, regardless of your calorie restriction. That's why people like me can go on a 1,300 calorie restrictive diet eating carbohydrates and still gain weight. I have done that. The reason why is because your body will panic. It sees that extra blood sugar and it doesn't know what to do with it. And so it says, we'll just pack it away for later because we have this extra energy. Obviously, we don't need it right now, even though your body could use it, which is another reason why you can feel lethargic and things like that. Ironically, you have extra energy that your body just cannot access. And so you can still gain weight. So the risks for carbo loading in order to break a stall, I just feel like they outweigh the pros. The pros. So there are pros to it. I know people who have done it successfully and have not completely fallen off the wagon and have been able to get right back on keto, and it did cause them to have a quick drop. But really, the only thing that it's doing is giving you a water weight drop. You're not really having an actual fat loss from that. It's just kind of kicking your body back into gear and letting it move forward again. But there are other ways to do that are safer. And so if you struggle like me with addiction to sugar, don't mess with that. Don't mess with that. You need to embrace the fact that carbohydrates are not your friend, that you became severely obese for a reason, and that those things should not be partaken in probably forever. And I hate to break that to people because it's hard, especially when you're first going into keto for weight loss and you're really stressed out and you're feeling really horrible. The thought of having to give up what you love and never see it again is really, really difficult. And at the beginning, I never said that I was going to do it forever and ever. Are you kidding me? The first couple of months, all I did was say, I'm just going to go till this certain point and then reevaluate. But as I got into it and realized how much more control I had and how I could see my addiction, I could see it. Before, I couldn't see it. I would justify it. I would have reasons for it. Oh, I feel bad today. Oh, I feel stressed out today. Oh, I'm depressed today. Oh, my life is really difficult. I can't deal. And so I need to eat these things. I had all kinds of this running commentary in my head that was telling me it's okay to eat this today because tomorrow you're going to be good. That's just not the case. I never was good the next day. I never started on Monday. I never started anything because there was no way for me to control it. And I saw as I went into that, as I got into keto and I realized I had so much control, I was shocked. I didn't even know you could have that much control over food. I thought food controlling you was the normal and that it was just going to be this horrible, hard battle for the rest of my life. When I realized how freeing it was to not feel that anymore, I was never going back. Never, ever, ever going back. And I hope that you guys are able to get to that point. Now, I realize not everybody's like me, and I realize not everybody can do that, and not everybody has the ability to constantly stay on it and never eat a carbohydrate again. I'm not saying that everyone has to be that way, but I'm saying that the suggestion to carbo load for a weight stall is going to be contraindicated because the likelihood that it would cause a binge or a month-long carb festival and a 20-pound weight gain is high. You don't really want to risk that. Plus, I will tell you, it is much harder to restart keto than it is to start keto the first time. It's easier to stick to it than it is to go back on it. I've coached a lot of people through it and it's really hard. It's even hard for me to go back to restricting more calories from eating the higher level of calories. So over the summer, I was probably eating, I'm guessing about, I didn't track, but I'm guessing between 1,600 and 1,800 calories. I was still eating at somewhat of a deficit, but not enough of a deficit to have, big weight loss numbers. Obviously, it was more of a maintenance level for me. And I've decided in October that I'm going to try and get back to that 1,266 deficit. And it's hard for me to do that. To go from eating more keto food to less keto food has been difficult. I cannot even imagine going from a summer of eating carbs for 2 months, trying to come back to that. That just sounds really, really scary to me. I have a huge fear motivator. People think that I have really great, what's the word? Stick-to-itiveness or whatever, or determination or willpower. People think I have like the amazing willpower. That is not true. I have the amazing fear factor. I am deathly afraid of going back to that place where I was. So there are new fears and there are new things I'm facing every single day at this weight and with this body size. And it is weird to look in the mirror and see myself and go, I do not recognize this person. There are some weird things about losing weight that I wasn't expecting, but never in a million years do I want to go back there. Never in a million years. So some tips and tricks that I know I've mentioned before on previous live chats, but I should reiterate again because people are coming in here wondering about carbo loading and whether or not they should do it and whether or not it's necessary. Some tips on to avoid carbo loading, but also get through a stall. So I will tell you my tips. First of all, let's quantify what a stall is. A lot of people say, oh, it's been a whole week. I didn't lose any weight. Oh, it's been a couple of weeks. I didn't lose any weight. Oh, I gained some weight. Dude, just have patience. Have patience. If you have had 6 weeks with no change, then let's talk. 6 weeks, no change on the scale or measurements at all. So that's pretty tough. It has been 21 months on this way of eating for me. And even eating the higher calories, I still can't say I've hit a stall. Yeah, I've stayed sort of same on the scale, but I have lost inches. I have literally not had a 6-week period where I haven't had some kind of progress. So I've not hit a real stall yet. So I have a hard time believing that if you're really doing this the way that's been laid out with the higher protein, moderate fat macros, I just have a really hard time believing that you've hit a true stall. I think it's just impatience more than anything, and it's really hard to be patient. When you're almost 400 pounds and you're like on death's door, it is really hard to be patient. I remember last year feeling so nervous and stressed out that I was never ever going to make it, and it felt like it took so long. It felt like it took eternity. And now here sitting on the other side, it doesn't feel like it took very long at all, and I'm kind of surprised at how quickly it went. It's just all about perspective, and it is hard to be patient. It is. And there are days when I just have to tell myself, just keep going, just keep swimming. I have to keep myself going. And you guys help with that. Knowing that you're here watching and wondering how things are going and wanting to be inspired and wanting me to succeed is extremely helpful in keeping me focused and keeping me going. Because I'll tell you what, there have been some times this last year where my life has gotten so out of control busy that I could have dive bombed. Normally I would have. I really feel like it's you guys who've kept me on the path. And so even though I started eating a lot more and not tracking, which technically isn't what I teach, I never fell off keto. And I never ate, way overate my carbohydrates. And I definitely never ate some kind of ridiculous sugary treat. So yeah, that's a blessing. You guys are absolutely wonderful for that reason. So my tips, here they are. I know you've probably heard them, but we may as well talk about them again. Lower your fat. First step, definitely lower your fat. If you've been kind of overeating your fat macro, go back to the fat macro that I give on the Facebook group. That fat macro is set at a deficit. If you eat those macros, you're already at a significant deficit. I want to say it's 500 calorie deficit for an average person of your height. But you can have a bigger deficit. So first step, lower your fat macro. Start with 10 grams under. I don't recommend going below 50. You do need some fat in your diet in order to have a healthy brain and hormone balance. You can become really, really cranky if you go below 50 grams of fat. I will tell you, I have tried that. I have tried what they call a protein sparing modified fast. I did it for a week and it was misery, and I didn't lose enough weight for it to be worth it. It was extremely low fat. We're talking 25 fat and extremely high in protein. I think it was 150 or higher of protein that I did. It was insane. It was difficult. It was a lot of chicken breast with no flavor. It was gross. But I survived it. And you can lose weight quickly that way. That is a fad version of keto. I wouldn't recommend that for a long-term kind of deal. But if you're looking for a quick kick yourself back into gear, lowering your fat is the first step. The second step would be to try a maintenance calorie day. And that's when you're basically going to eat the same amount of calories you're burning. So if you go into your Chronometer app, at the top that has the little fire logo thing, and it tells you how many calories basically you burn just sitting here doing nothing. That's the amount of calories you would eat. So you would keep your protein level the same, and you would raise your fats up until you hit that calorie level, and that would be your maintenance level. My personal maintenance level is about even with my protein, and that's pretty average across the board. My protein's 120, so when I do a maintenance day, I try and have it be about 120 or above that. But I only do it if you're going to do it to try and kick your body into gear. You can't do that every day. You have to do it just once. So you do one day a month of that. Sometimes that's just enough to keep your metabolism going and keep things moving forward and that kind of thing. You can combine the two. So you can eat 6 days at the way lower fat and then 1 day at maintenance. And sometimes that will really kick it into gear. Normally, it's really just water weight, though. If you're eating at a constant deficit, you're giving your body what it needs, your protein to basically repair itself and keep your muscles strong, you're going to lose. It may or may not show up on the scale for a long time, but eventually your body will have to lose because it can't continue to just burn only what you're eating dietary fat if you're only consuming that smaller amount of fat. My fat macro is 78, and so it's just not enough to run my body. Though the smaller I get, of course, the less energy my body needs, and thus it may not need as much of my body stores to keep going, which is why your weight loss kind of slows down as you approach your goal weight. As you get smaller, your body just doesn't need to burn as much. So in order to get that big weight loss, you kind of have to lower your dietary fat more. Now, people are confused when they see that my recommended is protein higher than fat grams. It's still a higher fat calorie. If you look at the calorie pie chart, it's still higher in fat because of just the way calories are. So carbs and protein have 4 grams, 4 calories per gram, and fats have 9. And so 9s are more calorie dense. I mean, 9s, of course 9s are, but fats are more calorie dense. And so if you lower the fat and raise your protein, you actually get more food for your calorie level, which makes it easier to do, in my opinion, and easier to keep going. And it gives your body the protein and aminos that it needs in order to keep your muscles, especially if you're doing fasting, some kind of intermittent fasting. In addition to that, your body has everything that it needs in order to completely rebuild. And you've heard probably of autophagy, that your body still needs proteins to do that. So there's a lot of schools of thought on that stuff. I don't know everything about it. I do know some things, but I know that the protein level makes it easier for me to do it. And that's the long and short of it right there. It makes it easier for me to stay on it when I have a bulk of food. And if I'm eating the bulk from proteins, I'm getting less calories. Thus, my body needs to burn more energy from my body. Now, this morning I woke up smaller again. I don't know, but I'm getting to the point where I can look in the mirror and go, whoa, what the heck happened? I woke up smaller again this morning. I am still retaining a bit of water, and on the scale was the same, 193 that I hit last week. But all of a sudden, this shirt did not fit me at all. I bought it last week, and I was like, this shirt is so uncomfortable on my arms. It didn't fit well at all. Now, it's still kind of short, so I don't know that I wear it out in public just yet. But I am wearing it. It is not super uncomfortable on my arms. And so I like, my point is that the scale doesn't always change. You just need patience, and you just have to wait it out. Keep doing it, trust that it's going to work, and wait it out. So those are my tips. I could probably think of a few more if I really had to pull some out of the hat. But those are the ones I highly recommend doing, and not carbo loading. Now, if you do not have insulin resistance, you are not a carb addict, and you are on keto for different reasons, for, cutting, building muscle, that kind of thing, carbo load all you want. But if you're a girl like me with insulin resistance that was severely obese and is on keto to save your life, don't mess with it. And that's my advice to you. Just don't even go there. All right, so I'm going to scroll back and see if you guys have any questions for me. If you have some for me, now would be a great time to ask them. I don't know if we have any trolls today yet. Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. If so, then maybe you guys have already taken care of them before me. So let's see. Good point. Leah Wilson says she does better with hard and fast rules. Moderation is way too negotiable. Yep. I agree. Everything in moderation annoys the crap out of me, because what's moderate? Your version of moderate might be different than my version of moderate. My version of moderate was an entire bag of Doritos Dynamitas, a package of cream cheese, and a 6-pack of donuts, and a large Coke. That's moderate, right? I mean, that's what made me happy. Yeah, it's too hard. It's too iffy. Who's knocking? I am in the middle of a live chat. What do you need? Is it an emergency? Oh my gosh. Is there any in the other bathroom? Dang it. Is my door locked? Of course. You guys, I really have to go help, so I will be right back. I promise. I'm so sorry. I'm running. Running. Here you go. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. Sorry about that. My kid needed toilet paper, and I was the only one who had any. Oh my gosh. Okay, back to where we were doing. Jamila says it's hard. She's having a hard time sticking to her carbs She thinks it's because she's skipping breakfast. If you're having a hard time and you think it might be that, you've just got to eat breakfast then. So if you're having a hard time making it the longer in order to do intermittent fasting, then you shouldn't be doing it. Intermittent fasting is something that I just kind of fell into because of convenience and because it just happened naturally. And it didn't happen until I was about a month in. I did 3 meals a day. So get up in the morning and have something delicious. Some cheesy eggs with some bacon. Eat something that's got a little bit higher in fat so that you're going to feel like it's a little bit decadent, and then save your lower fat meal for later in the day. I understand what it's like to have a family that is addicted to carbs. I have 9 children. One of them was doing keto. He is no longer doing keto. He has reached his goal weight and he is back on carbs. I don't know if he's eating as much carbs as he was before. He doesn't seem to be putting on any weight. He's quite slim at this point. He's now wearing size 34, probably could squeeze into 32 waist pants. I think he's doing great. But he's the only one besides me and Dave that are doing keto in our family. We have 2 adult children and a whole slew of young ones who are not. And they eat gummy worms, which is a huge trigger for me. And they drink sodas and they have cold cereals, which is a huge trigger for me. I couldn't eliminate all of those triggers from my home. So I had to just focus on exercising my no muscle. So basically what I'm saying is that I would look at something that I would want and I would say, I'm choosing not to eat that. Or I would sometimes simply just say no. But most of the time I'm choosing not to eat that. I'm more important than that food. A lot of times I've said I'm more important than that food. Especially on birthdays when everybody else is having cake, or, on parties and things like that where everybody's partaking in lots of fun snacks. It's hard. It's a social thing. You have to learn to separate yourself from it. And it takes time. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up if it takes you a little bit of time to get to that point. But as you walk down the aisle of the grocery store, walk past the things that trigger you and just say, no, thank you. I'm choosing not to eat that. No, thank you. And just practice it. It sounds silly, but the more you just practice doing it and saying it, I know that Sarah from Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, Sarah talks about it she calls it squinting. She's like, where it's there, but you don't really see it because you've squinted past it. It's a practice thing. It's a practice thing. It's not going to happen right away. And the further you get into keto and the stronger you get, the better you will be at it, and the more control you will feel, and you just won't need it. It's the carbs that are making you have a hard time, not because your kids are eating carbs, but because if you can't get your carbs under 20 long enough, your body's still begging you for them. Your body still wants them, and it will scream at you for you to give them to your body until your body finally goes, oh, I can burn fat? Oh, okay. And it moves on. But it takes a bit to get to that point. So if you're having trouble, don't beat yourself up. Just tomorrow's a new day. I highly suggest, if you're having trouble raising your fats, don't worry about eating at a deficit until you've got a handle on the keto and keeping it low carb. So if you have to, make some heavy whipping cream with stevia in it and just eat it away. Put a few strawberries in there. Make sure you track them so you don't go over your carbs. Eat something that makes you feel like you're eating a treat, just to get through that first time. I don't recommend it for all the time. And if you can avoid that, of course, don't do it, because, you're trying to get rid of those cravings as much as you can. But if it's a choice between you going completely off keto and staying on keto, there's goods and bads. So keep your things, especially if you're having trouble, keep your things higher fat. Keep that protein level high so that you feel like you have a bulk of food. Make sure you're using the macros from my group and getting that higher level of protein in. I know a lot of people on keto are eating only 60 grams of protein. I don't know how you guys live. I would die. That's one meal for me. I would die. I could eat 3 meals of 60. Are you kidding me? I can eat so much food, but I don't. But I could. All right. Let's see. Teresa from Keto Fat Girl No More says she tried the carbo load thing and she did end up flat on her face. She's like, she looks at it the same way as sin. Keep it out of my life. Yep. poison. I mean, I hate to vilify it because, I mean, for the most part, carbohydrates are good. That's what our body is meant to run on. But for some of us, it's just not working. And so we have to just consider it to be something like we're allergic to. And I tell people I just cannot process carbs. My body cannot process them, so I will not eat them. You cannot guilt me. You cannot force me. You cannot tempt me. You cannot make fun of me. It's not happening. It's not happening. And that's how I feel. And I feel like if someone is trying to do that to you, what? Ever? Why? I read these stories on my group of people giving people a hard time about their dietary choices. I'm like, dude, if this is working, back off. Back off, people. I don't understand why people want to sabotage others. Sabotaging is mean. Don't you love people? I know it is hard to see people be successful when you have a hard time being successful. And I get that you want other people to maybe feel sad as you do, because that's just kind of how the mindset is when you're in that place. But breaks my heart when I hear of people that love these people, family members who are sabotaging them and guilting them and making fun of them. It's just rude. Stop doing that. I just can't even. I'm so grateful for my awesome supportive family. My mom and my sister have been awesome supporters. My husband has been right on board with me. You know, I don't know how I would have made it if I had that much opposition. It has been a blessing in my life. Even my kids haven't made fun of me. They've totally supported me. They don't choose to do it, but they know why I'm doing it and they support me. Even my little kids. It's great. And even my daughters have mentioned that, you know, at least they know keto is there. It gives them safety so that if they ever have trouble with their weight, they know that they can try this. And it's nice for them to know that there's something that works. Because gosh, you guys, we spent half our lives trying every flippin' thing on the market and nothing actually worked. And if it did, it didn't work long enough and it was too hard to keep going forever, right? All right, so let's see. Pinky Pink says, did you find as you got smaller, your appetite increased? Yeah. I think it's because I just am so used to, my body is used to running on fats and it likes it. And I feel like I can eat a ton of keto food. But I also remember that when I first started, my body was kind of freaking out and it didn't want me to eat anything. And that's why I tell people, they're like, trust your body, eat when you're hungry. No, this is not how it works. Your body is messed up. You weren't in this position because you were eating and listening to your body. Your body is messed up. It doesn't know what it wants. It doesn't know what it needs. You be the boss. Tell your body what it needs. Tell your body what it wants. Eat your protein. You will not be hungry that first few weeks. Are you kidding me? You will not want to eat anything. Eat it anyway. I'm constantly getting criticized for telling people to eat when they are not hungry. But your body does not know what it needs. Now, I kind of trust my body more. And if I'm feeling hungry, sometimes I will eat an extra meal because I feel like my body is telling me to eat an extra meal. But I have been doing this for almost 2 years. I'm not new at this. My body is like got the program now. When you're first starting out, or even after a while, your mind can play tricks on you and tell you that things are okay that are not okay. Mine still tries to do that all the time. I know my sister, she's here too, by the way. Hi, Angela, or at least I saw her for a second, I think, on there. Angela has told me that it's the same thing. She has reached her goal weight, and she has these mind games all the time where her body's like, oh, you're skinny now. You can eat what you want. And it's true that you cannot. You cannot. You're still going to be fighting this battle. This is a lifelong battle. This is a lifelong commitment. Luckily, keto is something that actually can be done for life. It's the first diet that I've come across that I could actually feasibly see myself doing forever. If I feel like I want to eat something, I will just make me a keto treat. At first, I did not have keto treats because I was trying to kill my cravings. But if it's a choice between I'm diving off the bandwagon here, or I'm going to eat a huge bowl of cream cheese and whipping cream, then I'm going to eat a huge bowl of whipping cream and cream cheese, knowing that I'm not going to go over my carbs and that tomorrow I'm not going to regret it. There's no reason to regret it. Yeah, and sugar is in everything. You have to be so careful. That's another reason I don't use packaged foods very much. Even those protein bars that are out there, you got to read the labels. You got to see which sweeteners are in there. The one I eat is probably not the best one. I don't know. It doesn't have sugar, I don't think, but it does have glycerin and maltitol, which aren't the best, but they aren't the worst either. So sometimes I just have to look at it that way. How do sugar-free drinks work with keto? If you are a keto perfectionist, they say no sweeteners that aren't natural. So stevia pretty much is the only one out there. Maybe xylitol. Maybe erythritol. I am not like that. That is not me. I can't live like that. It's too much work. I am too busy and I need my soda. My sodas help me make it from meal to meal. When I'm feeling those cravings coming on, sometimes if I drink a Coke Zero, I feel like I can keep going. And to me, it's more about success. I have yet to find any article or any scientific study that prove that aspartame or sucralose do anything dangerous to the body. If you're not sensitive to them, i.e., they do not make you have issues remembering things or retain water or cause cravings, those kind of things. Because some people react to different sweeteners. I mean, you're sensitive to it or allergic to it. You can't eat it. I know this one lady who is allergic to aspartame. If she eats it, she has her brain turns off. She cannot function as a human being. I do not have this problem. I mean, granted, if my brain turns off, it's usually because my sodium is low, and I know it. So then I'll just shoot some Soleil water. But yeah, I can drink a lot of caffeine as a Mormon, I shouldn't say Mormon. I don't know if you guys have heard on the Facebook, but we're not supposed to call ourselves Mormon anymore. We're the Latter-day Saints because the name of our church is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So as a Latter-day Saint, I should probably not drink so much caffeine. But, we are not perfect. None of us are perfect. I'm not keto perfect. I'm not a perfect Latter-day Saint. That is the honest truth. I'm just out there trying to do the best I can and teach people the best I can. So, will diet soda affect your ketosis? No. There's literally no proof of that. Prove it. I want to see the scientific studies that prove it. So if you disagree with me, prove it. I have lost weight. I have drunk Coke Zero from day one. I started the Monsters probably a year in, and then I've added Bang recently because it just came out. I don't do well with Rockstar or Zip Fizz. Those, for some reason, give me heart pain. I don't know if there's something in there I'm allergic to. Probably. I'm allergic to a lot of weeds and grasses. There's probably some sort of extra thing that they put in there that my body doesn't like. So I can't drink some of them. But other people can drink them just fine. Dave likes Rockstar. It works for him. It doesn't bother him. But there's this one he can't drink. Rhino Rush or something. I wouldn't even try that one because it tastes like crap. But he says that one makes him have heart palpitations because it has ephedrine in it. I wouldn't even mess with that. So I basically drink it not necessarily just for the caffeine. I drink it because it helps me make it to the next meal. And to me, being a healthy weight is more important than worrying about whether or not diet soda is the best choice. It's probably not the best choice, but for me, it's my choice. So I'm not out there advocating that all ketoers should drink diet soda, but I'm saying if you want to, do it, right? All right. Oh my gosh, Teresa, I was 193 today as well. We are connected, you and me, connected. So funny. Oh my gosh, Ange, I can't believe that my sister says she's been keto for 14 months. Isn't that crazy? It goes by so much faster. Gosh, remember this time last year, we were just getting ready to go to Disneyland? Oh, Disneyland, I miss it. But yeah, if you guys go back, I actually vlogged through that whole trip. Me and Angela are in that vlog, and we look like completely different people this year. Both of us. My sister is very small. I'm pretty sure she says she's wearing a size 10 pants, but it looks to me like she could squeeze into an 8 just fine. And she says she has some 8s. She's looking dang good, I'll tell you what. And I'm right behind her. I'm squeezing into 12s now. 12s! I never thought I'd be in a 12. I feel very thin. Very thin. You guys, on my other channel, if you haven't seen it, you should check it out, Hide and Seek. We are so close, 200 subscribers away from the 1K that I need in order to get monetized. So if you haven't already subbed me over there, we would love your support. Hide and Seek, HYDE. Anyway, if you look on there, I show myself in ballet class every single week and in clogging class every single week. And do I still have a belly a little bit? Yeah. Do I still have a booty? Yeah. Do I still show myself on YouTube? Heck yeah, because dang, I look good. Are you kidding me? I like I like putting myself on YouTube, full body, tight pants, tight shirt. I think it's awesome. So I think I look good. Now, there's people that probably don't think I look good. And you know what? I don't care about you haters. Don't care. Because I am so proud of where I've come and how far I've come. And this morning I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, just, I'm so small. It is mind blowing. I'm finally getting to the place where I see what I really look like and not see that fat girl still kind of staring back at me. Because, you know, there's that weird body dysmorphia that happens as you lose weight. It's really hard to see it at first, especially when you're really still big. But now wearing a size 12, I can't deny it. When I look in the mirror, I'm like, wow. Wow. I actually did this. Incredible. Incredible, incredible, incredible. And people are always saying, like, you're so amazing, your transformation is so amazing. But you don't always wrap your brain around that. You don't always wrap your brain around that. I don't always feel amazing. But every once in a while, I look in the mirror and be like, dang, look at that. I'm so proud. Yeah. And the skin does hang and the things don't go where they belong. And you know what? Who cares? Who cares? It's a battle and I'm winning it. And those are my battle scars. Now, do I love them? No. Do I like showing those, especially not in ballet class? Definitely not. That's hard for me to see. My saggy arms are really hard for me to look at. But you know what? They are what they are, and they're part of me. And I have to love me. I have to be proud of who I am and where I came from and the journey that I've been on and the journey that I'm still moving through. I have to be proud of that. I have to. So as much as it's maybe hard to look at, I think it's good for people to see it. And so I put it out there because, I mean, heck, why not? And it doesn't really bother me. I don't really feel like a fear factor when I do it. I'm annoyed by some of it and I'm like, ah, but I don't feel like an anxiety over it or feel like people are going to judge me or people are going to say, you're fat. And you know what? If people say I'm fat, I just don't even give a crap. Like, I don't care anymore. Say it all you want. I'm like, yeah, I still got some pudge on me. A little bit. Oh, well. If you guys had any idea where I came from, like I want to tell people like that. Do you have any concept of the fact that I was almost 400 pounds? And after I had Jasper, I guarantee you I was well over 400, though it was never documented. Dude, like, back off. Like, I just don't even care. So any haters that come on saying stuff like that, I'm just like, roll my eyes. Like, whatever. Whatevs. I don't care. All right. So let's see. You can't eat apples, bananas, and almonds in a blender and lose weight if you have insulin resistance. Sorry. So these people are saying if you juice for lunch, an apple, banana, almonds in a blender, for dinner, baked chicken breast, you'll lose weight fast and easy, no tracking, nothing. Yeah, no way. It's not easy, number one. And number two, it doesn't work for long term. You can't do that forever. You'll feel starving constantly. I've done that. It sucks. You cannot lose weight that way. Not any weight that's going to stay off you. No. Moving on. All right. Yeah, don't do that. Okay. Michael, 6'5", 193, working on bulking. You feel like without carbs it would be too difficult. Right. So that's the thing. Like, you know, if you're in a completely different place, a different mindset, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Carbo loading is not for people with binge eating disorders and severe obesity and insulin resistance. It's just not safe. But for people who are not having those issues and who are trying to bulk up, it's a whole different story. Doing keto for that makes it complicated. I don't even know if I'd do keto if I was bulking. I'd probably just do massive amounts of protein, massive amounts of fats if you want to stay keto. But yeah, I don't know about the carbs. Like, I don't know how that works because that's not my world and I have no experience in that world. Though I do know people who do. So if you're still here, I don't know if you're still here. You probably got bored by now and moved on. But if you're still here, check out ketogains.com or Keto Gains on Facebook because they are the kings of keto bulking and they can tell you how to do it. And I do know that they do rotate carbs. I don't know if they carbo load, but they do have a rotation schedule. They can show you how to use keto for your best self if you are trying to build muscle. So there you go. Yeah, and we weigh the same. So if you're 6'5", boy, you are skinny, skinny, skinny. So yeah, go to Keto Gains. They have the info that you need. I am more about weight loss, so there you go. I still need to lose. I control if you want me to. Oh, thank you, Michael. You guys are so funny. Sometimes I feel bad about getting behind on the comments because I love it. I try to read every comment if I can, because we don't usually have like millions of people on here. I think the most I've ever had was 89, and so I have been able to read most every comment every time. So if you guys have a comment, please comment, because I usually do respond. Okay, so let's see. How can you tell when your insulin resistance gets better? That is a very, very good question. Dr. Finney talks about that on his blog. So if you want to know where I get all my information from, I get it all from Dr. Finney, from his books and from his blog. It's www.virtahealth, so virtahealth.com, and he has a blog with lots of information. But the one thing I have learned about Dr. Finney and insulin resistance is that insulin resistance is not curable. Diabetes is curable. Insulin resistance is likely not. If you are insulin resistant, and if you were extremely obese and had tried many diets and have tried eating at a deficit and still gained weight, even if you haven't been diagnosed insulin resistant, you probably are. I was never diagnosed, but I'm assuming that I am because of my experience trying to lose weight. So you can just count on that being something like type 1 diabetes. You cannot cure it. Does it get better? Yeah, your body does get better at processing the carbs. But when you go back to eating carbs, you eventually go back to being insulin resistant, if you already were. So I'm just going to tell you right now, just embrace it for life. Embrace it for life. When you're feeling deprived, eat more fat. There are oodles of fatty treats out there that have no carbs. We are so lucky and blessed. We have multiple sweeteners that we can use. There are so many options out there for us. It's really no excuse. I eat keto cakes. I mean, there's companies now making it. And by the way, Keto Cakes Utah shipped a batch to Kansas. They are working on shipping. So those of you who have been jealous of my cute little cupcakes, it might be on the verge of actually happening for you guys. Those are little fat bombs. Now, if you're on weight loss mode, you shouldn't be eating fat bombs. But if you are dying and you feel like you have to have a cupcake or you're going to die, holy crap, they're good. And you can make your own. There's millions of recipes out there. Go to Ginger's website, Keto in the UK. She has built the keto treat empire. She has every treat you can imagine recipe on there. There's really no reason to ever need to eat carbs again. There are substitutes for anything that your soul could desire. And if you're insulin resistant, you really should just place your faith in keto forever, because it's just not safe. All right. Red Kai, hello. I am so glad you are here. Thank you for the compliments. Each person has different body type. Yep. Different health issues. So true. So true. Let's see. If you ever want to be fit, you must be willing to embrace pain. I'm probably never going to be fit, Michael, because I hate pain. I gave birth to 8 babies, and I'll tell you what, it sucks. And I'm kind of a wimp. I do ballet, and I wouldn't say I call it painful. It's more for fun. But I only barely recently started that. I haven't really done much exercise. But yeah, I'm not really wanting to build muscle or be trim or, yeah. Just can't. Michaela Mestis, she says, eat carbs after 4. Hate to break it to you, but I tried that too. I did. It doesn't work. I lost some weight. I did. Because there's only so much carbs you can eat after 4. But I'll tell you what, when you know that you can eat carbs after 4, all you're going to think about is carbs and which ones you're going to eat after 4. I had limited mine to 1 hour block. It was called the Carbohydrate Addict's Diet, ironically. And I would dream about what I was going to eat. And in that hour, I ate everything I could possibly eat. If you are an addict or a binge eater, you can't do that. If you are insulin resistant, you can't do that. It is not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not safe. Don't do it. Now, if you're not those things, do what you want. I don't care. But I'm just saying, like, most people who follow me are like me. And if you're like me, don't do it. All right. Where are we now? Why should women have breakfast? What? I never said that. That is not what I meant. I said if she's having trouble keeping her carbs low because she's skipping breakfast, then she should not skip breakfast. I don't eat breakfast. Okay. Anyway. It must not be me that said that women need breakfast. I'm thinking you guys were talking to someone else because I did not say that. Yeah, no, you don't need. I mean, I don't know. Only thing I say you need is protein and low carbs. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that. Yes, inflammation is a huge issue. Keto is the most anti-inflammatory diet that's out there. So if you are having joint pain or swelling or, like edema issues, keto is the way to go for that as well. Even if you don't have trouble with weight, if you're having trouble with pain, it's another way to get rid of that. All right. Okay, let's see. Sorry, you guys keep talking to each other, and I don't know if you're asking me or somebody else. La la la. Wait. Takeaway food, as in like fast food? Okay. So you can eat fast food on keto. Why not? Why not? So if your family is going out to a restaurant, a sit-down restaurant is always going to have something keto. You're always going to be able to get a chicken breast without something on it, or a sirloin steak, or prime rib, which is my favorite. If you're going to a fast food place like McDonald's, even McDonald's, they don't necessarily always do lettuce wraps, but you can still get the burger without the bun. You can eat fast food, especially if it's not all the time on keto. I do it all the time. If you watch my What to Eat Wednesdays, I have been doing What to Eat Wednesday, or I've been filming my food for over a year. I started filming my food daily in October of last year, I believe. A year, you guys. It is all on here. So you can see I eat out a lot. My favorite place, I think, to get a burger is probably, at least that's a national chain, would be Hardee's or Carl's Jr. They just have the yummiest beef and they have the biggest pieces of it. It's definitely not cheap, but it's delicious. Just get a burger with a lettuce wrap, no ketchup. It's so easy, you guys. So easy to eat out. Get a salad with ranch. Wendy's, you can get double, triple with bacon. They have great bacon. Like most every place, if you look online, you can figure out something that you can have on keto and still participate with your family, still go out to eat, and be happy. Oh, chicken wings. Lots of places sell chicken wings. And those are higher in fat, so you don't want to do them every day, but they're okay for occasion. Are you kidding me? Whenever my family wants to go out, I suggest a place that I know I can eat something. So look online, go to the menus of the favorite places that your family likes to eat and figure it out. I know that if you go to like burrito places, like Chipotle, you can just get it without the rice, the beans, and the tortilla. You just get a big salad with lots of yummy meats and things. If you go to a Mexican restaurant, get the fajitas without the tortilla. A lot of times the restaurants will sub guacamole or something like that, extra guac for your tortillas if you ask, or your rice and beans if you ask. You just have to be creative. So don't let that hold you back, and don't let that give you into eating carbohydrate laden foods. You're never gonna make it through if you can't figure out how to be, doing those social things and stay keto. You absolutely can. All right, let's see. Okay, so that whole thing about women needing breakfast is total bunk. I mean, I have read it. I've read about it. It doesn't, in saying that intermittent fasting is dangerous for women, I disagree. I don't know. I've been doing it for 2 years, and, well, not quite 2 years. I guess I should say 20. 20 months officially I've been intermittent fasting. And it's fine. I do it because it's natural. It's what comes to my body naturally. I'm not hungry in the morning. I haven't eaten anything yet. It's almost noon and it's past noon. It's 12:30. I haven't eaten anything. Yeah. You don't need to. All right. Yeah, okay. I talked about that. Oh my gosh. La la la. You guys are so silly. Why are you guys arguing? You know what's really funny is that I find that Michael, oh man, I'm not even going to try. And Michaela are both Michael and Michaela, and we have this huge hurricane going on named Hurricane Michael. And you guys are coming in here with this big old argument. It's so funny. But yeah, you guys don't need to eat breakfast. Just let it go. Let it go. Okay. Are we talking about eating too much protein, converting to sugar? If you want to watch a good video on that, I think the one that's my favorite is probably Keto in the UK. She has a great video on that where she researched it. She did an in-depth research study kind of thing on her own and researched other people's research and came up with the whole thing about, what do you call it? GNG? Oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've even talked about it. Wow, you guys haven't asked about that in a really long time. Gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis? Is that how you pronounce it? My brain is gone. I will tell you this. When you're on keto, gluconeogenesis is always happening. Your body is always converting protein into sugar because your brain needs a certain amount of it and you're not giving your body carbs and thus it has to. It's not dependent on how much protein you eat. And eating excess protein isn't going to cause it to create more. Eating excess protein can make a little bit higher blood sugar levels, and I don't know exactly why that is, but it has not caused any issues, even with Dr. Finney's patients who are all type 2 diabetics. It hasn't caused me any trouble with weight loss, and it hasn't caused me any trouble with being fat adapted or being in ketosis. So I'm calling bunk on that. I'm sorry, anything that makes this diet easier and more sustainable I'm on that. If I'm losing weight, there's a fly. If I'm losing weight, that is the point. That's why I started keto. If that's not why you started keto, then that's a different story. But if you're here to lose weight, do what makes it work for you. And the higher protein is what makes it work for me because I'm eating a bigger deficit in calories, and calories do matter. They do matter. Don't let anyone tell you that they don't, because they do. Your body burns a certain amount of calories, and if you eat a certain amount of calories, you won't burn any from your body. But if you eat a deficit, it will burn your body fat, and your body will switch to fat burning on your body when it's already fat adapted much more smoothly, and life is easier. And that is why I eat the higher protein. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. And you guys, come to my Facebook group and get the macros and try it. Just try it. Okay. Oh my gosh, the fly. Why is it attacking me all of a sudden? It's a random fly. Is it not cold outside? Why are there flies in here? Why? I drink herbal tea as well. One of my favorites is Throat Coat, who was recommended here on my live chat one time. I love that stuff. So good. It tastes like licorice. Herbal teas are great. I also drink Creo Brew, which does have some carbs in it, 1.5 carbs per cup. It's basically roasted cocoa beans. It's a nice way to have like a hot chocolate substitute. It tastes like hot chocolate water if you don't put half and half or heavy whipping cream in it. I don't really like to drink my fats, so I tend to do half and half more than heavy whipping cream. So it has a little bit more carbs in it, but I'm willing to lower the carbs that I eat in my other meals in order to be able to have that drink. I don't drink coffee because of my religion, so you can drink coffee if you don't have that issue. Let's see. Hi, Ange. I'm glad you're here. Paul Sherrod. Hello from Cyprus? From Cyprus, the place? Or Cyprus, the high school? Because I totally went to Cypress High School in Magna, Utah. Cool. Hi. Oh my gosh. Let's see. I do have my other channel on my page. I don't exactly know how to make it more visible. So it's in my recommended channels on the side, on the main page, and it's also in the description of every video that has come out since I started my new channel. So if you're looking for it, that's where you can find it from my page. Of course, we could use the subscribers, and if you have subscribed and hit the bell, then the videos should pop up in your recommended. And I'm not the same person over there. Let me warn you guys. If you guys love me over here, my sweet little happy, perky teacher self who always looks put together and has makeup on and is pretty, that's not me over there. No, I'm kind of ornery, cranky, whiny, makeupless, and I don't even know the words. Funny over there? So I feel like I have split personality disorder when I'm editing the videos, because these ones, I'm just kind of like, oh, I'm so nice. Look how cute I am. And then the other ones, I'm like, dang, girl, you got some wrinkles. Ooh, you're looking bad. But I still do it so much. Vicky Ortiz watched my videos. Yay, that's awesome. I'm so glad for every one of you who bother watching. It's awesome. I really appreciate it. Okay. Are they like cake or candy bar? The keto cakes, they are like cake. Full on, delicious, moist, actual cake with frosting. I don't know how they make these magic things, but they are amazing. Right, Ange? My sister's addicted to them. She's the one who got me started on them. They're so good. They use many sweeteners. They use stevia, erythritol, monk fruit extract. They use almond flour and coconut flour for the base, but then it's got so much fat in the actual cupcake that it's very moist. And then the topping is usually like some kind of cream cheese frosting or a heavy whipping cream frosting. I don't know. They are magic workers over there. 2 to 3 net carbs per cupcake. Insane. So when they come out, you guys, from my channel alone, I know that they are going to get a ton of business. And when they come out with shipping, I am going to petition them to sponsor me, because I talk about them a lot. They deserve to sponsor me, don't you think? Yeah. All right. Oh, I love that you have friends at work that that make a business selling keto treats. Yeah, if you guys are bakers, you should do it, because here in Utah, it's gone off like crazy. We have five separate bakeries within an hour drive of me that sell keto treats. There's even one I haven't tried yet that sells keto bread. I haven't tried it yet, though. Have I tried one giant meal a day and the rest fasting? Yes, I have, and it did not work for me. I was too miserable and cranky. There wasn't enough Diet Coke and Coke Zero to get me through to the other side. And it was really difficult for me to get the entire meal inside of me. And so I felt like I was eating a lot of extra things like protein shakes that I normally wouldn't want to eat, because I wouldn't want to waste my food on just non-food. You know what I mean? Like, just get the protein in. I felt like I had to do that in order to get it in. It just wasn't worth it to me. I couldn't get in my 120 grams of protein, and that's imperative to me. That's literally the macro I worry about second. So I worry about the under 20 carbs first, protein second, fats last. It's the last thing I worry about. Oh, Karen's here. I knew you were going to stop by even though you're prepping for the hurricane. Good girl. I hope that you're doing okay. Yes, there's still time to ask questions. I'm still chatting. No one's killed themselves out there yet. Not yet, anyway. All right. Okay. What made you decide on keto rather than low carb? Good question. Keto is a guarantee. Keto is a guarantee. If you're eating less than 20 grams of carbs, your body will be burning fat. It will be in ketosis, and thus you will be successful. On low carb, it's too iffy. Your body can go in and out of ketosis. Oh, that fly. Your body can go in and out of ketosis. And if you're messing around back and forth like that, it's confusing to your body. Plus, your body will beg you for glycogen all the time, so you're hungry. I have tried the deficit and trying to eat as low carb as possible, but still was in like the 200 or whatever range, and I couldn't do it. Like, it was literally not possible to do it. The reason I started on keto is because it works. And I didn't even mean to. I kind of fell into it by accident, and I've never looked back. So I didn't really choose it. It was like a desperation kind of thing because I was about to get surgery. I tried keto instead of surgery as a desperate last-ditch fad diet effort before I discovered it was not a fad diet and that it was completely sustainable for life. Now, the amount of carbs that a person can eat varies from person to person to stay in ketosis. When I get to my goal weight, I may or may not try upping my carbs a little bit just to see if I can still stay in ketosis and eat some more. But the problem is with that, I'd be too tempted to try treats. And I don't really want to go there because of my sugar addiction. So that would be why. Can I replace coffee with the Atkins drink and make my bullet coffee? Because I can't eat coffee because of my headaches. Can you just skip it all together? I don't do bulletproof coffee. No bulletproof drinks. We don't drink our fats. Don't drink your fats. It's empty calories. It does you nothing. It does nothing for you. If you are in maintenance and you want to maintain, it is a good way to get your fats in if you're having trouble getting them in by eating fatty meats and things like that. But no, there's no reason to do that. Don't use the Atkins drink either. I don't know what's in that. I mean, if it's a protein shake, maybe, but there's no reason to drink that. Don't bother. Just skip it all together. If you need something hot to drink in the morning, try herbal tea. Herbal tea with some stevia is really great. Diet soda. I drink diet soda. And of course, my Cryo brew that I mentioned, CRIOBRU.com. Or you can also buy it on Amazon. It's roasted cocoa beans. So if coffee is bothering you, try that. I have it a lot. Like you said, you have to count the carbs, 1.5 per cup, but it's delicious and it tastes like hot chocolate. And if you really, really have to make a bulletproof drink, you can, but you really, really don't need to. It's not necessary on keto. Keto means in ketosis. Doesn't mean eating gobs of fat. I'm not putting butter in my drinks. Gross. Okay. Yes, we're still here. Sorry I missed your question the first time. I'm just like not getting down to the bottom yet. And I'm going to keep trying to go all the way to the bottom. I may or may not make it because I really do need to go like eat something at some point. That I really should, since I started late, be done. But there you go. I think I already answered that, but part of my question, if it's too personal, but what's your pant size at 194? I'm at 196. I'm fitting into a 14 pant extra large shirt. I am fitting into a 12 pant size large shirt. This is actually large juniors, so it's kind of still tight on me. Large women's fits perfectly. In fact, I'm to the point now where I can walk into a store and buy a pair of size 12 pants without trying them on. When I get home, they will fit. Every brand that I've tried. So that's awesome. My favorite pair of pants to wear right now is a pair of size 12 skinny stretchy jeans, like not jeggings. They're still jeans, but they're skinny jeans, but they have stretch, from Walmart. And they were cheap, like $10. I gotta go get me a few more pairs of those. I look really skinny in that. Hey, Keto Cricket. She's glad to see me looking positive and perky. That's good. Yep. What is my religion? I am a Latter-day Saint, member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, formerly known or also known as the Mormons. We're not supposed to say that anymore, though. It's confusing. That is a good question, Teresa. Why can I not have coffee, but I can drink coconut energy drinks? That is a very good question. People are asking me that all the time, especially in my religious circles. Because God allows us to choose for ourselves. So in our religion, we have this thing called the Word of Wisdom, and in it is talking about hot drinks that we should not partake in them. Also alcohol. So you can take that however you want to take it. At the time it meant coffee and tea and alcohol and tobacco. Those were the things that the prophet of the time was saying were not good for us, and that God had told him to tell us not to partake in. So that's why we don't drink coffee and tea. There's a lot of discussion about why we don't drink those things. There's discussion about whether or not the tannin in it is because of it, or the hotness of it, it's just a lot of discussion. It's a hard no. So coffee, tea, smoking, and alcohol, those are hard no's. Those are rules, commandments, hard no's. The rest of it is a personal choice kind of thing. I believe that God gives us our agency and that he gives us the choice to choose for ourselves how we want to interpret the rules and how we feel comfortable living life. I believe God gave me keto, but in our word of wisdom, it also talks about eating grains and eating meat sparingly. So I get a lot of flack, but I have had many hours of prayer. Those other things in the word of wisdom were given as guidelines, and of course were based on farming, like Michael was talking about, and the situation of the day. They were not hard no's, they were not hard rules, and so you can interpret them how you need to. I have spent many hours in prayer over the things that I choose to do. I never claim to be a perfect Latter-day Saint. I don't claim to follow all the rules perfectly. I do the best that I can, and I want to be healthy. Diet sodas, like I said, help me keep this diet going and keep myself on a deficit. There are people who disagree with me, and there are people who think I'm bad for drinking, especially the energy drinks. Energy drinks are considered fringe in our religion. And there was even a famous snowboarder who was an advocate for Monster and left the company because of his religious views. He stopped the sponsorship. So that's why I said I shouldn't be an advocate for Bang, because of my religion. People would probably question that. But I'll tell you what, it has really saved me, helped me to be more healthy by keeping me off of those treats that I want so desperately still years later. I still want those treats. And if it keeps me going and it keeps me thin, I choose to drink them. Will other members of my religion support it? Possibly not. But I believe that God gives us our own choices, and he expects us to do the best we can with the knowledge that we have, and he does not fault us for that. And I also believe that Christ died for our sins, and that even if we're making bad choices, we can repent and be forgiven, and he has covered that for us. So I am doing the best I can to be a good person and to share his gospel and to choose good things and healthy things for myself. And for me, drinking those has been more healthy. I also asked recently, why can Mormons not wear shorts but can wear bikinis? This is the same kind of question. So we're not given detailed, scrutinized rules to live our lives, okay? The reason why most Mormons don't wear shorts is because when we're wearing regular clothes, we are wearing our garment, our holy garment that we were given in the temple, and it means we can't show our shoulders, and it goes almost to our knees, and so it has to cover those for modesty's sake, to remind us of the covenants that we made with God, okay? So when we're wearing regular clothes, that's why shorts are a problem, because often they're too short. While bathing, we do not wear our holy garment, and so some people choose to wear bikinis. It isn't necessarily recommended by the church, no. But people can choose to do so because they have their own free agency, and it's not necessarily sinful to choose to do that. It's just, recommended to not. So it's that same kind of thing. We have a lot of gray areas in our lives no matter what religion we're in. We can't always follow hard and fast rules or expect God to give us every tiny little rule. We have to just do the best that we can and make the best choices that we can. I've often gotten up in church and said, I'm not the perfect Latter-day Saint, and I don't need to be the perfect Latter-day Saint. But that is the answer to your question. Some people think it's okay. Some people think it's not. I am personally going with okay because it makes my life better. And because God is supporting me in my endeavors, I feel like he's okay with what I'm doing at the moment. That may not be the case in the future. In the future, he may say, okay, Tamara, time to let go of the energy drinks, and I will have to face that demon when I make it there. But for now, I'm facing different demons, if that makes sense. Okay. Yes, I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also formerly known as Mormons. Okay. So I just answered that. Let's see. Yes, I did find my bag. That's why I'm wearing my lovely makeup. I found it right after I uploaded the video. Right? Hi, Brandy, by the way. I'm glad to see you. Okay. Do I get tired after eating? You read that it's symptom of too much protein and insulin resistance. No, I don't have that symptom. The only time I get tired is if my sodium's low or if I'm getting close to mealtime and I need a meal. So I'm usually hungry if I'm feeling tired, not usually the other way around. So I don't know. Maybe that could be a problem for some people too. I don't know anything about that. You have to send me that article if you can. Let's see. How many carbs did I start with at the very beginning? 21 net. It's my same amount. Been doing the same amount the whole time. 3 weeks in and no weight loss. Watch your past videos. I'm going to try lower fat and raise proteins. Yes. Go to my Facebook group. Join the Facebook group. Get the macros chart. I'm telling you, it works so much better than the high-fat keto. It is the supreme weight loss diet. I'm telling you. The only one that works faster is a PSMF, but you will want to kill people on that diet. And it's not an all-the-time diet. I did find my makeup. Don't be worried about saturated fats. Don't be worried about saturated fats. I can show you the studies that prove that saturated fats are not our issue. Heart disease is now being proven that it's caused by inflammation, and it's now being proven that inflammation is caused by carbohydrates. I promise you, if you're going to eat red meats, you're going to be cool, especially if you're not eating carbs. If you can't stand to eat red meats, can you still do keto? Heck yes. Heck yes. Fish, chicken, eggs, those are all awesome foods for keto. You will have to add fats in if you're going to eat those leaner meats. So you will have to eat more cheeses, more heavy whipping cream, more butter, more olive oil. Of course, butter is technically saturated fat as well, but you're going to have to add fats to your chicken and things like that in order to do it not too low fat. Because you do need to have a certain amount of fat in order to have brain and hormone health. Like I said, 50 grams minimum in order to not feel like you want to kill people and be really, really mean. Yes, I'm talking from experience. I've tried it. So if you're going to eat the leaner meats, that's great, but you're going to have to add fats to it. Sauces. I eat a lot of the ragu cheese creations. They do have some carbs and they do have some soybean oil in, which is supposedly another perfect keto don't do it thing, but I do it anyway kind of thing. So it's totally up to you. Of course, you can always do organic if it makes you feel better. You know, it's really up to you what you feel comfortable with. But yes, if you can eat some protein, so if you're okay with eating all of those leaner proteins that aren't red meat, for sure, you just need to eat enough of it. All right. How has long-term keto affected your cholesterol? I have not actually had mine tested. I really need to, and I've been thinking about doing that, but I am so busy, I have not had mine tested. I do know that Dr. Finney has articles on that. I'm sure you already read that, but I do not have any personal experience. I've seen a lot of it on the other board that I used to be on that fired me. They had a ton of information on it, so if you want to brave ketogenic dieters, they have a lot of great information. Everything that I learned, I started over there. But they fired me because I ate a fat bomb. At least that's what they say. But they don't believe in fat bombs or bulletproof coffee or anything like that. And be prepared that they are very militant in their rules. But they do have a lot of information about that. So if you want to see other people's experience, definitely go over there and just search cholesterol and see what pops up. Because you'll have that question answered probably daily. Probably more often than once a day, actually. But I don't have any personal experience with it. All right, let's see. Is referring to someone as Mormon offensive? That is a good question. No. I would say no. It's never bothered me, and I think that the church is just trying to remind everyone that we are the Church of Jesus Christ and not the Church of Mormon. We don't worship Mormon. You know, he was the one who basically took all of the prophets' teachings and put them all into the book. And it's called Book of Mormon because he did that. We don't worship him. The teachings are of Christ. We believe in Jesus Christ. And so I think the church is just trying to remind the world, because we are now a world church. The church has grown. And so I feel like they're trying to put a more positive spin on it. The term Mormon has been vilified over the years. It has been uncomfortable, but I would say it's not necessarily an offensive term. We're just trying to correct the language, which I am not a politically correct kind of person, but it's kind of a thing like that. It's kind of like calling a Native American an Indian. Not necessarily the most offensive thing you could do, But move on, times have changed. Does that make sense? I don't know. That's kind of how I take it. But it was a big deal, and it's been talked about for years and years. It's not the first time they've mentioned it, but the Prophet came out and in our conference this last week and made a big deal about it again, and so it's been in the news. So I figure more people have heard about it, so I may as well tell you guys too that we are trying to be referred to as Latter-day Saints and not as Mormon or LDS, as a shortened term of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Wow, but talk about my church a lot, and it's like 1 o'clock, right? I'm really not a church channel, guys. But I love you for asking because I really appreciate it. That's really sweet of you to care. All right. What do I think about pre-workout shakes? Not helpful. Doesn't matter. The only pre-workout you need to worry about is sodium. So if you go to Keto Gains, they have so much information about that. Keto Gains is also a sister group to ketogenic dieters, so be prepared for that. But Keto Gains is where you want to be if you are having a big exercise regimen and you have questions about that. They recommend exercising fasted with extra sodium. And you want to take sodium like bolus right before you go into the gym, and you want to have some Sole water with like Ketorade kind of thing to sip on as you exercise, and then you're probably going to want more after. Your amount is going to vary about how much sodium you can take in while you're basically sweating out sodium. But the reason why you have a hard time exercising on keto is generally an electrolyte problem, not necessarily an energy problem, because technically you should have boundless energy. In fact, on ketogenic dieters, there is a girl there that is a massive ultra marathoner. She's the first keto ultra marathoner. She's been sponsored by multiple shoe brands. She's becoming famous, and she is strictly keto. So it can be done, and it is very much great for endurance if you can get over that lack of energy problem. So I think it's an electrolyte thing. That's all I know about it, though. So if you want more information, you're definitely going to have to check out Keto Gains Facebook. And don't tell them you're my friend, because they don't love me. At least, I don't know. I mean, it's been, 8 months, and they haven't really talked to me. So I don't know how they feel about me now. But I would imagine it's still probably not good to be my friend. So heads up on that. Don't mention my channel on their page. Bad stuff. Not a good idea. They have wiped me from the face of the earth. I was all over that page, and now you don't know that I exist over there. So, yeah. Anyway, that makes me sad because I miss the people that I was inspiring over there. I was like 100,000 members in that group, and I was inspiring a lot of people, and kind of sucks. But anyway, moving on. Okay, it's been on an hour and 22 minutes. I gotta go. Sorry, guys. I love you all, but now I am getting hungry and feeling like I want to stop talking, even though I've only drunk this much of my bag. I do sip on these. I don't like guzzle them. They last me a while. When I drink, I don't drink more than one a day either. If I drink an extra bit, it's going to be a Coke Zero or something lower in caffeine, because I don't want to kill myself. But all right. Thanks so much for the lovely chat. You guys have had some interesting things. This has been quite a different kind of chat, and I have appreciated talking about these things with you guys. And usually I talk about the same things, so this has been kind of fun because it's been a little different than normal, and I appreciate it. Please don't forget, if you are new here, don't forget to like and subscribe, because hello, I love all of my subbies so much. And I'm telling you that Dave says merch is on the way. So if you have any recommendations on merch you would like to see, Keto Chaos merch, it scares me a little bit, the whole thing with merch. But if you're interested in a Keto Chaos t-shirt or mug or something like that, let me know. I should probably do some kind of poll, but I don't think I'm cool enough to do a poll until I have 10,000 subscribers. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but anyway, I want to do it. Because, I don't know, it seems like it's time, but I just am nervous about that. And so if you haven't liked or subscribed, do that. And don't forget to subscribe to Hide and Seek, my family channel. We really could use your support over there. And I love you all so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Oh, and don't forget to put a bacon emoji in the comments if you made it this far and it isn't the live chat. Thank you so much. I love you all. Talk to you again soon.